Moira trying to make a video, take 2. I get started there just in time for the postwoman to come to the door, so all hell let loose in the hall. Right, what I was trying to say when I first started was, I showed the other day these alcohol inks with foiling on Yupo paper. I'm hoping you're picking that up okay, because it's really quite spectacular. I'm going to show you how to do it, because it's fairly straightforward. It is a bit smelly. It's a messy thing, and you need to be very careful about basically not firing it on everywhere. Yupo paper itself, if you can see this, okay, it is described as: this smooth surface synthetic paper is ideal for use with alcohol inks, mixed media, watercolours and acrylics. Wipe to reveal the white surface, scratch when dry, blend and merge colours. So there you go. So I picked that up on eBay. I should imagine it's the sort of thing that's very readily available. I know, bear with me. Shut the door, so hopefully Daisy's not quite so loud as she's watching the postwoman walk up and down the street. Right, so anyway, as I was saying, I know Tim Holtz does these probably in little packs, so that you can do itty bitty stuff with them. Anyway, let's get back to the matter in hand. I don't think it was, I can't remember how much it cost, but it wasn't overly expensive. In terms of alcohol inks, I didn't buy a lot of those because I wasn't really, to be fair, when I first bought the alcohol inks, I didn't really know what I was going to do with them. It was just one of these impulse buys, as you do when you're a crafter. So they came as a wee set of 3, and they are from Ranger. They do not bear Tim Holtz names, but they do bear Ranger's names. It was a 3-pack. This is butterscotch caramel, stream, which is a kind of greeny blue, and wild plum. So I'll show you how it works. You also can use alcohol blending solution or pure alcohol. The stuff I bought, isopropyl alcohol, is what you're looking for if you're buying the cheaper version, because I couldn't be bothered. The Ranger alcohol blending solution was like £6, and I think I got that for 2. I also got a hood for drying my hair, but that's beside the point. If you watch my videos, you'll know what I'm talking about here. Anyway, I've taken a small amount of that isopropyl alcohol in a syringe, because obviously all I want to do is drip it on if I'm using it at all. So I'll show you how this goes when you apply it to paper. Thankfully it comes with a wee nozzle, so you're not going to... now these are permanent, by the way, so if you spill it on anything, you're going to have to use pure alcohol or rubbing alcohol to move it, to get rid of it. And in that respect, if you apply it to your furniture, you will ruin your furniture. If you apply it to your clothes, you will ruin your clothes. So do it on a craft mat of some description, or a lot of folk that I've watched use a glass mat, you know, like a glass cutting board or whatever. That's the kind of greeny blue one, which is in itself a very attractive colour. Now if I add the butterscotch caramel right next to it, you'll see it goes into wee, you seen that okay, wee kind of circles. I can't zoom in, I'm afraid, because I don't have that flashy a camera. So you'll need to just see how we go. When I was watching folk doing this, they really, I just don't get where they're coming from, but they were applying the ink with such gay abandon, quite frankly, that it was everywhere. Their papers were literally saturated And I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the effect, but I just don't see the point in throwing it about like water, which is what they were doing. That certainly turned the greeny blue one more green. Right, we'll try this, adding this to it. It is also, in common with all colouring mediums, only too possible to get mud, depending on what you add to what. So you need to watch your colouring and not go over the score. I did do one which just came out a horrible, in fact it was like a blacky brown. It was just, you know, you couldn't pretend it was attractive. I'm going to add some more of the blue, I think. Now, if you add the alcohol blending solution or the pure alcohol, obviously you do it very slowly. I don't do any more than a drop at a time, if I can control it even to that extent. I'm hoping you see that they're like, it just goes into big kind of ripply circles. It's very smelly. You should do it in a well ventilated room, because you can be overcome with fumes. Right, now see, once you've done that and you've added as much kind of alcohol blending solution, you can do the thing where you get a straw and blow through it to move it about a wee bit. And I have done that. In fact, I should have brought my straw through. Give me just a wee second and I'll go get it. It dries fairly quickly, I have to say. Some of the bits are really dark. I don't know if I can lighten them with this. The theory is I should be able to, but because obviously when you add the alcohol, it's effectively just diluting the ink. The problem is sometimes it removes it to the point where you're seeing the white below it. Thought I touched it there. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. Now, the application of the foil itself, there is a science, but I just don't know what it is, and it would appear that everybody that uses this technique doesn't really know what it is, except the fact that in an ideal world the ink itself should only be almost dry in order that the foil will stick to the ink. So if I can move this about a wee bit, I'm hoping you'll see that it is, some bits are pretty wet, in which case way too wet to apply foil. I discovered that the hard way, of course. Here's what I've got left in my foil. The gold bits you'll see are still foil I can use, but on the other side it's pretty well discoloured because I used alcohol ink that wasn't completely dry, or not completely dry, but wasn't just mildly damp. So we'll bear in mind that we need to wait a wee minute and talk amongst ourselves while we wait for this to dry. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with the panels yet, save the fact that obviously I will, they'll almost certainly end up in tags. Maybe some will be, there'll be sections that will go into cards. I don't know. I'll have a good think and I'll watch yet more videos on the matter. You can use a heat tool, but because U-Put paper is synthetic paper, it can burn really easily or warp. So with a heat tool you need to be very careful. I'm not big on using heat tools apart from when I'm actually doing embossing, so I'm not going to leap to get the heat tool to this. I'm going to leave it and just wait till I can judge that I think the time is right. See, I would say, see those, the wee thin lines there in that kind of purpley section? I would say they're probably ideal, but what's worrying me is I've got two really damp sections next to them, so that might not be the best idea. So I'll try to apply it. So you basically just put it down and rub it with your finger, and hopefully it will stick. It did, but because the lines are so fine, I don't think you're going to see it very well. I'm going to go for it here. Right, so basically just gentle rubbing. I mean, you can use you know, the bone folders, not bone folders, what are they called? These things that you go like that to crease your paper. I think they are bone folders, come to think of it. You can use them, but it is really quite easy to scrape the foil, and that's not really what I'm aiming for. Ho ho, that looks quite good. Can you see that okay? Obviously there's more bits we can apply this to. It's really just a question of putting it down and rubbing, but the whole thing, the science if you like, is that the ink must be almost dry so that it's just mildly tacky to attract the foil, and you put the foil down with the colour that you're wanting to use facing up the way. So, you know, gold is the colour here, so I put down what was the silver side. That's quite good. You seeing that okay? Oops, I've got some ink on my thingy. I can get that off with rubbing alcohol, so I'm not overly worried about that by now. I just don't want to shove my fingers in it. I mean, the bottom line is it's really difficult to get it all tacky. I dare say if you did this enough and you were getting to be a dab hand at it, but considering this is only like the second time I've done it, I'm happy enough with what I'm achieving. think that's going to do me. It doesn't look very attractive on the other side, and that's what's left. That foil can still be used. And there's the results. Hopefully the camera will pick that up okay. It's quite impressive and quite attractive if you're using it to do a kind of mixed media type background and things. So that's it. So thanks very much for your time. Any questions, if I can answer them, I will do. So see you all again soon. Bye guys, bye.